You don't control the world. You control only how you react to it. The point I'm trying to drive home is we have to be here for one another.
I think it's time to make some changes. I've been learning, I've been growing through these different stages. Up and down, it's part of life, or so they say. I swear I lose hope nearly every other day.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Hey Mark, the podcast where I, Mark, like to have open and authentic conversations about, my struggles, my adversities that I face, my mental health, but also sometimes I like to talk to other people as well and talk to them about the struggles that they've faced, the adversities that they've overcome, and how that's helped them become the people that they are today. I do usually have pretty positive energy to share. I do usually have, a lot of energy, to be honest, and I still do today, but that energy is channeled in a different way. And that's going to be the theme of today's episode, which is it's okay to not be okay. So I'm going to start off by just saying this. Over the past couple weeks, over the past couple months, I've felt it building up, negativity inside of me, and I've felt it in a lot of different ways. Like everybody else, I'm dealing with the similar issues and problems that, I miss seeing my friends. I miss seeing people around. I miss going to restaurants. I miss going to events like concerts, hockey games, things like that. I miss being able to just chill out and do all the things that we would do in our regular lives without having the stressors added to it that we've had in the last couple of years. I miss going to the gym without having a mask on. I miss, being able to do any sports that we want to play. I miss all of those things, like everybody else does. But that's not only the way that this has been impacting me. I miss human connection. I miss being able to shake hands when you meet somebody. I miss being able to fist bump people. I miss a lot of things that I've had in, the past couple years of my life that I don't have readily available right now. And obviously myself included, but a lot of other people as well recommend you do things like Zoom calls or FaceTime people more often or call your friends more often, but it's just not the same as, one-on-one or, even group setting interactions. I miss being able to have people over. Think of all the people that are missing out on their birthdays. And then you start to realize that I'm not even the most impacted person. This is kind of we'll call it a trigger warning right now, but I'm going to get real deep. And this is something that, it pains me to talk about. But this week I just found out that a little kid, a 10-year-old kid in my building just committed suicide. I didn't know what to think. And the person in my building that told me this had just spoken to this boy 3 days ago. And he was talking about how he just misses seeing his friends and he feels alone. And he can't wait to start going to swimming pools again because he just got a new pair of goggles and a new snorkel. Like, this is what's happening to people. And I know I'm not the only one feeling this because there's evidence all around us. And I just want to remind everybody right now that, you're not alone. You're not alone in this. And as difficult and as stressful and as brutal as these times can be, this is kind of the perfect time to reflect back on how you can put yourself in the best position possible to be happy and successful. Because, doing what I've been doing, even just trying to be in denial of these things or continue to live your life as regularly as you can, sometimes that doesn't help either. Sometimes you do need to sit down and reflect on, why you're feeling the way that you're feeling. And it fucking sucks. And sometimes it hurts to dig deep like that. When you're journaling and you're writing down emotions that fucking hurt. I think that this is like the perfect time to kind of sit down and focus on something that we've been told so many times, time and time again. You don't control the world. You control only how you react to it. There's no way that any of us right now can just snap our fingers and create a situation that is absolutely perfect. Right now, the whole world is going through some sort of a struggle. And so the only way that we can get through this is if we band together, if we support one another. Because guess what? I know that I'm not alone in this. I might be the only person that that's speaking up about it on social media. I might not be, right? You might know other people that are speaking about these types of things. But the point I'm trying to drive home is we have to be here for one another. Now I'm going to be a little bit more productive now. I'm going to try and give you some sort of tips or tricks that, I've spoken about so many times in the past, but that's only because I've been through dark times like this before, not a worldwide pandemic before, but through severe depression and through severe anxiety. And I know for myself what works for me to keep myself moving, to keep myself going, and to keep myself pushing. Even when it feels like it won't get better, I will push until it does get better. And the ways that I do that are the ways that I talk about all the time on, my social media, on my Instagram, on my Facebook page that I post about as well. And obviously every single episode that I talk to you guys in. And, my tips are very simple. They're not things that are, rocket science. They're not things that are very difficult to do. They're just easy not to do. They're easy to forget about, or they're easy to neglect because we live very busy, stressful, and anxious lives. So what works for me? I've told you so many times, but I'm going to tell you one more time. For me, it's working out, right? That's the first thing that I usually have to focus on the most. And because it comes natural to me, it's something that I can do easily, and it's something that I can easily incorporate into a day-to-day basis. And so when I say working out, obviously I prefer going to the gym, lifting weights. I kind of like that area. It seems very social to me. And to be honest, that's the only time I ever really see people outside of work or my roommate at home. You might not like lifting weights, that's fine. You can go for a run outside, you can go for a bike ride. There's tons of different ways you can be working out or active and still be socially distant. And so you can play sports like tennis or badminton or anything like that where, even golf, right? Like you can just do anything to stay active. This has benefits psychologically, obviously, with the endorphins that are released in your brain. But, at the end of the day, for the way that I see it, it's going to add to your self-confidence because you're going to move more, you're going to move better, and you're going to feel better, right? But it also adds to your discipline. And I've talked time and time again how discipline is going to help you out with feeling better. After that, I find if you've got a job, if you're fortunate enough right now, I know a lot of people have lost their jobs this year, but if you have a job or if you have a hobby or anything that you can do to keep yourself occupied right now, not only do that, but do it well. Do it to the best of your ability. Work hard. You don't have to be perfect at what you do, but put in as much effort as you possibly can. This coincides with what I just said. When you're working out, when you're working hard, when you know you're putting in your best effort, then it's going to make you feel good. It's going to make you feel like you accomplished something. It's going to make you feel like you achieved something. And that's going to compound itself on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis. You might not get these results that I'm talking about right now after your first day of work or your first workout. This is something that you have to do on a continuous basis, even when you don't feel like it. I try my best as well to eat as healthy and as clean as I can and take as many vitamins as I possibly can to just try and get my body operating at its optimum level, at a peak level where I know that my body's functioning properly. I can get good nutrition inside my body. I know that if I do get sick, then I'm going to recover a lot quicker than I normally would if I'm just eating junk food and sitting around. And then obviously with good exercise and good food, good nutrition, comes good sleep as well. You have to make sure that you're focusing on this. And I'm not talking about rest in the sense of, sitting on your couch and watching Netflix or laying in your bed on your phone, scrolling through social media. I mean, actually sleeping. And if you tell me that you can't sleep well at night, I'm going to tell you this. Get off your phone before you go to bed. There's plenty of tips. You don't even have to listen to my content. You can go out and find different things. Go and Google or YouTube how to get a better sleep. I'm going to tell you straight up, it's going to be pretty simple. A lot of these things are going to tell you the following. Don't drink caffeine or take any caffeine within the last 6 hours of your day or 5 hours of your day. Stop looking at your phone screen the last couple hours of your day. Stop eating carbs the last couple hours of your day. And try and read a book. I don't know, calm yourself down, calm your thoughts down, or maybe listen to a meditation or a YouTube video on how to go to sleep better. But you need to get your sleep. That's what I'm trying to say. Most adults need about 6 to 7, 8 hours. I would say go for 8. If you feel groggy, maybe go for 7. If you feel a little groggy, that's usually my happy medium. But if you still feel groggy, maybe you're one of those people that only needs 6 hours of sleep, but get your sleep in because you're gonna need it. Especially if you're just starting to work out and you're just starting to eat well. Getting that good sleep in is how you're going to continue to work out because that's how you're going to recover. After all of that, the last pieces of advice that I would give to you that I've been doing a lot recently that have made me feel a lot better is be a little bit more reflective. Read a little bit more and journal a little bit more. Write down these things that are bothering you, are bugging you, these things that you feel inside that you can't find words for. Just write down or draw or doodle any way that you can be a little bit more reflective. You know, some people like to journal. Obviously, I do. I'm a pretty big advocate for it. But if you don't like journaling, speak to your phone like this. Record your thoughts. Have a conversation with yourself. That's really all that journaling is having a conversation or a relationship with your brain, with your mind, right? And so journal a little bit more, read a little bit more, maybe try and learn something new on a regular basis. But these are ways that you're going to keep your brain busy, keep your brain productive, and put yourself in the best possible situation and position to be happy and to feel that fulfillment or that confidence or that self-esteem boost, whatever you're looking for or that you might need right now, if you're anything like me who gets a little bit caught up in these stressors. These are things that I talk about on a regular basis, and I do so because these are the things that help me out. So I want to share them with others in hopes that it can help other people out as well. These are the actions and behaviors that have helped pull me out of those dark times. It's okay to be in those dark times. That's what I'm trying to tell you, is that you're not alone. And hell, I've been there before, and I know a lot of other people have as well. So if you feel like you're alone right now, or if you feel like, hey, maybe I shouldn't feel this way, or maybe nobody else does, I'm going to tell you right now, I've told you a million times, but I'll repeat it as many times as I need to. You are not alone. Now look, I've listed a shit ton of actions here. I've listed a ton of behaviors that you can start to pick up, activities and such. But sometimes it just feels like you aren't able to do any of those things. Sometimes you feel like you're paralyzed, like you can't even leave your room or maybe even leave your bed. And if you're feeling that way, I'm going to tell you it's okay to take a rest day. It's okay to rest. Just make sure that, like I said before, if you're going to be resting, you don't spend that time picking up or continuing old bad habits that have maybe helped put you in the position that you're in right now. If you're going to be resting, make sure that you're resting effectively. Make sure that you're actually resting your mind and your body. You're not filling it with extra stressors. You're not watching reality TV to stimulate your brain. You're not watching the news updates. You're not watching politics. You're not watching all these things that stimulate all this brain activity and stress and cortisol levels. What you're doing is you're resting your mind and resting your body so that you can go back and start doing things again. You're not alone, and it's okay to not be okay. The last message I'm going to give you is that if you need to take those days where you just sit by yourself and reflect, maybe you're reading all day or journaling all day, or you just need to sleep or rest, forgive yourself for that. You are human. And this is more of a message to myself than anybody else. If you need to rest, that's okay. Accept it. Don't beat yourself up, and don't feel shame for being human. We're all in this together. Now go out and have a good day, the best day you possibly can. Go and have a good week. Go and have a good month. So I'm sending out my thoughts, prayers, and condolences to the family that lost, a child this week. He's unfortunately not the only person that's taken their life recently. There's a lot of people in the last year. And so for anybody that's lost a family member due to COVID or due to any mental health issues, I just want to let you know that I'm sending my love to you the very best that I can. It's a heavy topic, but I find that this is something that we need to discuss. This is something that we need to talk about. And I won't stop until I feel like people can actually feel like they can talk about these things openly as well. Now, I wanted to say this as well, in case you haven't heard me say it before in the past. If you do feel like you might need some help, if you do feel like you are at risk of causing yourself some harm, if you feel like you know somebody that is at risk for causing themselves some harm, reach out to them. If you are in that position, then reach out to somebody else. Talk to your family doctor, talk to your family, talk to your loved ones. That could be your friends, your parents, your siblings, your teacher, your coaches, anyone that you feel like you can trust. I highly recommend talking to your family doctor And if you don't feel comfortable talking to them, at least ask them to refer you to somebody else, like a counselor, a therapist, a psychologist, etc. Seriously, guys, I'm not joking when I say this. If you do feel like you might need help, you should probably just try it out anyways. Please. Try anything that could possibly make you better. So that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you guys so much for supporting. I know I went off on a little rant today, and I know this wasn't the most positive video. There was definitely times that I probably should have given a little bit more of a trigger warning, but I have to speak my mind, and that's how I see the world today. So that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much, and peace out.